Hello dear students. In last unit we have studied which are the types of aquatic plants. Now we will study one by one the adaptations in those aquatic plants. The first type is floating plants. The examples of floating plants are water hyacinth and duckweed. Now what are the modifications or adaptations so that it can adjust to that surrounding? First adaptation is spongy body with air spaces that helps them to float on the water. Now the bodies of those plants, they are spongy, and because of spongy bodies they can float on water very easily, and there are air spaces in that spongy body, and in this way it helps them to float on water. Next is stomata are present on the surface of their leaves. The leaves, they contain stomatal openings, and these stomatal openings are also the adaptive feature of those plants. Then roots hang freely in water. Now these roots, they are also hanging freely in water, and because of that these floating plants, they can survive easily in that condition. Now we will see the next type of aquatic plant. The second type of aquatic plants is submerged plant, and these submerged plants examples are hydrilla, tape grass, and these are having some adaptations, and these adaptations are they are fixed in muddy soil. We know that these are freshwater plants and they have to survive in the forceful currents of water, and for that they are fixed in muddy soil. They can tolerate the forceful currents of water, and they can easily bend and easily survive in that condition. Also, their stems and leaves are thin, narrow and flexible. Because of flexibility, what happens? They can bend easily and they cannot break. In this way, these are the adaptations in submerged plants. Let's study the third type of aquatic plant, and this third type is plants with floating leaves. The examples of these plants are lotus and water lily. Very attractive flowers, and lotus is our national flower also. So let us see the adaptations. First adaptation is they are firmly rooted in soil. As their leaves and flowers are floating on water, they should be firmly rooted in soil. Their base should be firm. Then the stems are long, hollow and light. Because of long, hollow, they are having the empty space inside it, and because of that they become light in weight, and they are also long because from water up to the floating level they have to be long. Then stomata are present on leaves. The leaves are round in shape, they are big in size, and on these leaves there are stomatal openings. Then leaves and flowers remain above water. That's why they are called floating. And leaves have waxy coating. Now you will think, why there is waxy coating? But they have to survive in that water, and if we keep any regular leaf in water, what will happen? If we keep it for 2 days or 3 days in water, if we don't take it outside that water, what will happen? That leaf will become loose. Then it will change its color also. It will get spoiled. But to avoid all these things, nature has done the adaptation that plant has adapted itself. And what is the structural change in it? They have waxy coating. Because of this waxy coating, what happens? The water does not get accumulated. It trickles down the leaf. It does not get accumulated on the leaf, and that's why the surface becomes free of water, and in this way the leaves are protected from getting spoiled. So they are having waxy coating. In this way we have studied the different adaptations in the plants with floating leaves. These are the three types of aquatic plants, and we have studied all in detail.